From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Prime Minister Mark Carney will be in Latvia again this morning, wrapping up a whirlwind 5-day, 4-country tour of Europe that also saw visits to Ukraine, Germany, and Poland. Carney will be touring a Latvian military base and visiting troops stationed as part of Canada's largest overseas mission. The Prime Minister announced yesterday that Canada will keep troops in Latvia for another 3 years as part of the mission to deter further Russian aggression in Europe.
We will, in the process, increase the brigade's capabilities here in Latvia, reinforce our collective defense, strengthen our cooperative security, and keep the NATO presence strong.
There are now 2,000 Canadian Armed Forces troops in Latvia as part of Operation Reassurance. A year after a devastating rocket attack on Ukraine's largest children's cardiac hospital left 4 people dead and a dozen injured, the century-old facility is getting ready to reopen.
The Canadian Red Cross is helping fund the rebuilding of the Children's Cardiac Hospital in Kyiv, which has been closed since the rocket hit on July 8th of last year. Windows blew out, shrapnel tore holes in the walls and the roof, and Sabina Voronetsa from the Red Cross says some operations were underway.
It's horrible and it's terrifying that any hospital anywhere could be targeted.
The facility, with some funding from Canada, is scheduled to reopen in a month and a half. Bill Graveland, The Canadian Press, Kyiv.
Back at home, Vancouver International Airport is reporting that some of its flights are being delayed. The airport is blaming unexpected staffing constraints at the country's air navigation service provider, Nav Canada, noting passengers may experience changes to their flights. That includes delays that may affect connecting flights and cancellations, particularly on regional routes around BC. Officials are advising passengers to check the status of their flight with their airlines. Elections Manitoba has released the unofficial numbers from the Spruce Woods riding by-election. Progressive Conservative candidate Colleen Robbins has received the majority of votes, although the numbers suggest it was a tight race for the largely rural riding, which has consistently voted PC since its formation in 2011. The New Democrats candidate came in a very close second, and the returning officer must now verify the results. Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador are hammering out final agreements on a sweeping energy partnership. Local Nova Scotia fire crews have been fighting fire since earlier this month and need a rest. The Natural Resources Department says a 20-member fire crew and incident management team from Ontario are expected to spell off the local crews today on the Long Lake fire in the Annapolis Valley. And Canadian singer Tate McRae will make her performance debut on the MTV Video Music Awards stage next month. The Calgary native is up for 4 first-time nominations, including Song of the Year and Best Pop Artist. The 2025 VMAs will air live on September 7th from Long Island, New York. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Toronto Blue Jays closer Jeff Hoffman has 28 saves this season, but has converted just 2 of his past 5 save opportunities. With the Jays leading the visiting Minnesota Twins 4-3 in the 9th inning yesterday, Hoffman surrendered 2 home runs and took the loss after his 7th blown save of the season. The Twins' 7-5 come-from-behind win leveled the 3-game series at the Rogers Centre at 1-1. Game 3 goes tonight in Toronto. Leila Fernandez of Laval, Quebec will play in the second round of the women's singles at the U.S. Open in New York today. Fernandez will also join forces with 45-year-old Venus Williams later in the week to compete in women's doubles. Williams was granted a wildcard entry and is playing her first Grand Slam in 2 years. And Canada will play Colombia tomorrow in the FIBA Men's America Basketball Championship quarterfinal round in Nicaragua. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.